welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here, it's the talented and beautiful Nana Ponceleon. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show once again.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Keith. My honor. I am so happy to be here with you again.
Well, the honor's all mine, and the last time we did the interview was 2 years ago, so people can go back, see the video quality, how it changed and everything. And as you know, but for our new viewers, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and to prove to people you can still amount to something. But labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so you should prove to them. Hashtag never give up. Yeah, actually I done bustering it, but basically never give up and prove people wrong, and labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so hashtag break the label. I guess you got bad effect on me. I'm a bad fart. So with that being,
No,
oh god.
no, I was going to say that it's always a pleasure, and every time I hear you say that about your disability and how you're doing this wonderful work, it's just so inspiring for me.
No, I appreciate it. Now this is a 2-year follow-up. I'm gonna ask you some easy questions, then we can ask you what have you been up to for the past 2 years. So the first one is, when you were growing up, how was life growing up? And when you were in high school and college, were you a party animal or study nerd?
Okay. I have always been a party animal. I love music and I love dancing. I grew up around music. My father had music in the house playing all the time. I woke up, there was music. I went to bed, there was music. I started dancing when I was about 8. I did some flamenco when I was 9. So, I've always loved to party. And so I guess I've been a party animal. Now, that being said, I'm a weird party animal because I don't drink. I never have. So my friends sometimes got very confused when they saw me dancing on top of a table, thinking that I'd be drunk, nope, it was just me being happy and dancing. So, yeah, that's me growing up, always dancing, always singing, having fun.
Well, what about when you were in high school and college? Were you a study nerd, party animal? And did you ever do any sports?
I did do sports. I was a gymnast when I was in school. After gymnastics, well, I got an injury back in the days, and so I couldn't compete anymore. And then in college, I did kickboxing. And I've always worked out. I've always done something. And in college, I was not a nerd. Never was. I had good grades. I was an okay student. I did well, but I was not a nerd. And yeah, I partied probably more than I should have.
What about kickboxing? Did you ever want to become a professional kickboxer?
No, not really. I just did it for fun, and I've always been involved in active kinds of sports, the running, the gymnastics, the kickboxing. I go to the gym. Now I started doing yoga, but that is now. Like back when I was young, no. And I just did it because my husband at the time was a kickboxing teacher, so it was very easy for me to get involved in that. And I've been kind of a tomboy. all my life. So kickboxing went well with that.
What about, did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or are you not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
The what? I'm sorry.
Oh, the human pyramid.
No, I never ever did one. Maybe, well, maybe now in my older years I get to do it, but no, when I was young, never. I always would have liked to, though.
Well, would you be interested in helping me do one?
Absolutely. Yes.
We should definitely make that work.
There you go. Well, let's do it. I'm in.
I do have a couple of questions. Because I always ask the girls this, and I was like, well, I do like pyramids. Might as well turn it into a subject. So I have the top three pyramid questions for you, if you're okay with it.
Okay.
And the first one is, would you do a normal one, or would you use an exercise ball? Like the normal is the side by side, and the exercise ball, it's more like a stack. Well, it sounds like more fun.
Maybe the stack.
I would say the same thing. Well, while on that, I'm trying to find the words for it. Where would you want to be? Bottom, or middle, and how many people?
Wow. Huh. Probably top, but only because that means I'm not carrying too much weight. However, it's a very risky position, though, because you can bring that thing down. Um, so, yeah, maybe either top or all the way in the bottom. I like supporting people as well, so I think being at the bottom would also be interesting.
I love that stuff. I always wanted to do one since I was a kid.
Well, listen, let's put a date to it and let's do it.
Yeah, hold you towards that. And now the third one I was going to ask you was I asked you about if you like the normal or the ball. You mentioned that you want to be on top. What about, would you set a record, or would you do it for fun? Like there's the whole ice bucket challenge and
Yeah.
everything, and the dog pile challenges. Do you think it's fun just doing it, or do you think it's as fun as like, there's a reason for doing it?
I'm competitive, so I would say that I would like to break a record of some kind, of some sort. That would be, and it also would be fun. So by breaking the record, we get both of them together. We're doing it for a reason, and then we're having fun.
No, absolutely. And, it's human art, and it's an exercise, too.
Correct. Yep.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, the last time we talked was 2 years ago, and you mentioned you were doing some independent films. Have you ever gotten a chance to be on TV during the 2 years, or get a supporting roles?
On TV?
Yes, or in films.
Yeah. Yeah, well, actually, the last 2 years have been, thank God, very active for me and continue to be. And yes, I was on TV recently with The Perfect Murder and Investigation ID, Investigation Discovery. And I've been with them twice, actually. I was in the show last year and then this year. I've been on TV also on commercials, a couple of commercials. And yes, independent films, a few of them. Some are not released yet. Some are in post-production. And a couple of projects coming up as well.
No, really cool. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, me too.
One thing I do want to go back is to our viewers. I'm a big fan of human pyramids, so if the questions seem kind of weird or awkward, I do apologize. I wasn't thinking, whatever they might be thinking.
Listen, it's your show. You do whatever you want in your show.
That's true. Now, the next question I was going to ask you, I did see, well, I don't know if you want me to ask this or not, but I saw you that your daughter's going to college. Did she
Yes.
want to become an actress as well, or did she want to do her own thing?
I have two. One is 18 and one is 21. Um, they don't want to be actors or actresses. Actually, they go like, no. Um, the youngest one, Mariale, wants to be or is a dancer. She dances. She's done ballet and hip hop and all kinds of stuff. And my oldest daughter says that she doesn't want to be an actor either, but she's one of those social media influencers, and she has quite a bit of following in Instagram. And this girl, she posts a picture on Instagram, and she gets 5,000 to 9,000 likes on a picture. And it all started with her doing videos on a platform called Vine back in the days. I think nobody uses Vine anymore. Now she does them on YouTube and Instagram. So, she says she's not an actor, but I think she is in a way, because she has her fun videos, and she's quite funny, and she's doing very well with that.
Well, just throwing it out there, they're more than welcome to be a guest on my show. I'm always looking for people to network with.
Yeah, I told them. The thing is, when we talked about that, by the way, they went back to Venezuela. That's where we're from. We're from
Oh,
Venezuela.
nice.
So they're there right now. But since this is Skype, we can always arrange something, because it's possible with technology now.
That's true. I didn't mean to impose on you. It's if they want to, they're welcome to. I'm just extending my hand in friendship.
Absolutely. I will mention it to them, and probably they can both be on the show at the same time.
Yeah, sure. Double interview. Or if you want, you can join them and do a group interview.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Whatever
Okay,
you want, whatever you guys want to do.
I'll talk to them.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you
Mm-hmm.
is let's see, have you been interested in doing voiceovers, or have you just been on-screen acting?
It's funny that you asked that, because lately I've been tempted to take classes on voiceover. I have not done voiceovers, but I love it. I like voiceover. I like radio too. I haven't done that either. So I might get involved in that pretty soon. I even asked a friend the other day that he's a fantastic voiceover actor or person, and I was telling him, I need classes, but I think it's very interesting. It's a very challenging job. It's hard, but it's very interesting.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
That's okay.
I was going to say, if you want, I can teach you. It's really easy.
Awesome. Okay, I'll take you up on that offer.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you is my new subject: social media. Can it make you or break you? And I give you a perfect example. Your daughter can probably do wraps around me, because as soon as he posts a picture, can't snap my finger. 5,000 people will follow her. For me, it would sink like a rock. And I was like, maybe I get 20, 30 people. So I'm trying to find the words for it. So what makes people follow certain people? Number one. And is it the contact? I don't know what type of work your daughter does, but for me, if you had to do a comparison, do you think I should do this as a different approach, or maybe so you would have any pointers to say, well, maybe if you did it like this, you can have people following you. So we think, and the reason I bring it up is social media. You said, if you don't want to talk about it, I do apologize. But I'm just saying that she's a perfect example. Is someone who's up and coming. She's a YouTube celebrity, and she doesn't want to become famous. But if you look at it, YouTube is kind of like in their own little bubble, in their own little society. Would you agree that she's already famous and that she's out doing great things?
Um, yeah, so going back to the initial question, if it makes you or breaks you, um, I think it's so relative because, um, like, I started doing my acting thing before she became this social media influencer, right?
Right.
And I went to school because I changed careers. I think I told you that in the first interview, but I'll just summarize it really quick. I was in business before. That's what I did all my life. Worked in Microsoft for many years, over 11 years. And then I decided to change careers and I started doing acting. I went to school. And my daughter, through the social media, like you say, became quite famous very quickly. And I'm far from being there yet, and I've been doing this for years. So um, I think the content definitely is a very big part of it. What what your what the program or the show or whatever you're doing is about. I think one of the things that helped her, which is also helping many, many social influencers in the world, is the target audience is teenagers.
Yeah.
And they are always on their phones. And they are always on a computer. And they are looking for content. And for her, it was the comedy. And like you say, she didn't do it to become famous. And I tell people this all the time when they say this person became an overnight success,
right,
and she was discovered overnight. That is not true. I mean, that may be true for a very small number of people, but in general, it's not the case. People say they discovered her overnight. No, somebody saw her maybe overnight, but she's been doing it for many years. So my daughter, going back to her example, and actually both my daughters are the same, she grew up with a camera in her hand. Since she was 5, 6 years old, this girl, she always asked for the camera. Mommy, can I take a picture? Mommy, can I do this? And they would record videos. She would invite friends over, and they would have long sessions of photo shoots or videos. And so she didn't do this overnight. She was doing selfies when the word selfie didn't even exist.
Right.
Right? So I have hard drives that are filled with videos and pictures that both my girls took all the time. So she didn't do this overnight. It's just her passion. That's what she loves. She loves doing these hilarious videos, and she just started doing it. And I guess passion, talent, and technology came together, and that's when magic happened. Because now the technology allows you to very easily put that content out there in the world to be seen. So going back to your question about yourself, I guess content definitely has a lot to do with it. And who is your target audience? Who do you want to talk to? And what is the message that they want to hear or they would be interested in? And mind you, I think you have a huge opportunity out there. Huge. To impact a lot of people and to get yourself out there with lots of people watching and following. I think it's probably just a matter of maybe putting a little thought into how to get to that level, how to reach that audience that you want to reach, and which would be the best way. My suggestion, and this is going on camera anyway, but you'll edit and
you can
do
say whatever you want.
Right. Like you can start having little clips that you put on Instagram to try to get out there and be known on a different platform. Because sometimes nowadays people, they all complain, we all complain, because I do the same, that we don't have time.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say, oh, this is 20 minutes. I don't have 20 minutes to sit down and watch this very long thing. Unless it's a very good friend, for example. I'm sure this interview, my friends will see it, my mom, maybe my daughters. But like you say, many people are not going to sit down and say, oh, let me look at this actress for 20 minutes. But if you get, little bits and pieces of the interview, put it together and then post it on Instagram, maybe you start getting a following. Plus, I think the fact that you have your disability and you're doing this is huge. It's huge. You are an inspiration. You should be a motivator out there. Telling you can go on a TED Talk and talk about how a person with disability is doing this. It's fabulous. So there is a market out there for you. I think it's just a matter of finding the how and how to approach it.
You do bring up a good point. Then we're going to take a commercial break, and I'll get past the show over to you. Are you following me on Instagram? And if you are, you saw the promo that I did for you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, what's that? I do post promos on Instagram. I say, you're going to be on my show. I thought you were going to be number 74, but luckily now you're 75. Get my numbers up there. And so basically, Instagram, people say it's just for pictures, but I found a way to do video promos. And saying you're on it. If your daughters want to be on it, then I can promote them. I recently had, let's see, are you a professional wrestling fan?
No.
I interviewed Ernest the Cat Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend you watch that interview because it's very interesting. I can get to that in 1 second. But I would take the person's pictures. I would do KeithAndrewNetWork Season 4. Here's your name. And I will give you like a song, like, trying to think what song I gave you. I think it was the Billy Joel, or I think it was a good song. I don't remember what it was. But I would give that person a song, and if you hear a good song, it's like, okay, let's continue this. And so basically you need something short to get their attention. So that's why it's like, well, instead of saying, here's a picture, go check it out, we do like a short introduction, like, my name is Keith, and then you introduce yourself, and then you get people hooked that way. If you do things interactive, more than a still image, it will get people hooked, if that makes any sense. Like you say, try different things.
Yeah, I mean, because this new platforms that are coming up, and I think they're trial and error. You try it this way, you try it the other way. Definitely pictures on Instagram are very successful, and you see it because of the stats. My daughter, for example, gets most of the time more hits or more likes on a picture than on a video. Not views, but likes.
Yeah.
And most people do, even the big stars. A picture, a very close picture, and there are tons of ideas. You should be looking front, your eyes should be out, you shouldn't be looking down or away. I mean, the pictures that are like that get most engagement and closer up than far. I mean, all these things are being studied now by the social media. And yeah, pictures are, but if you make interesting clips, that can work as well.
Hey, if you guys are up for it, I would love to work with you. You help me, I help you.
Awesome. Let's talk. Let's off the air.
Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to pass it back over to you.
A message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message, especially for you. including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link, so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
375. I'm here to talented and beautiful Ms. Nina. I just want to say thank you for putting up with me.
Hi.
Now,
I'm glad to be here.
No, absolutely. Don't mind me. Skype has a little glitch in it. Before I pass the show over to you, one more question, subject I do want to ask you. Actually, question more likely is for people who want to follow in your footsteps. You know, what were some of the websites that helped you break out? You know, your people talked about, drawing a blank. I was doing this all day. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Stage 32. But for you, what was the site that said, you know what, use this website and you won't be sorry? So what was the most helpful website that you used?
Wow. Choosing only one, it's hard.
Well, you can say whatever.
But I can tell you probably my evolution and how things have evolved for me. It is funny because I don't use this anymore, but way, back in the days when I started, there was this site called Mandy.com, and I remember people saying, Mandy, you're submitting through Mandy? And I got a couple, I got some good work through Mandy, but nobody uses Mandy anymore. So for me as an actor today, Actors Access is a great tool. For theater, definitely Backstage. For commercials, casting networks, because they tend to specialize. I don't know if they are doing it on purpose or not, but those are like for commercials, casting networks, Backstage for theater, and Actors Access for film. That doesn't mean that they don't promote other things or you can't submit for other things, but those are the ones that work best for me.
Right.
And definitely something that it's hard sometimes if you're not very social, but networking, as in any business, it is crucial. I can't tell you how much some connections that I have made and that I have kept from people who I worked maybe early on in my career, or maybe a project that I did last year and they're calling me back, or they're referring me to someone. So networking and staying in contact. Facebook is a great tool if you use it right. It can also be very bad and very addictive for many people, and it turns into this whole conversation about social media, whether it's good or bad. But if you use it as a tool for marketing yourself and connecting with people, and every now and again you send a note to a casting director and you comment on something that they post and you say, this is a great project, or congratulations for being involved in this, and you honestly stay in contact with people, that's going to turn out to be a great, and it has turned out to be a great tool for me as well. But then in acting, Facebook, maybe just promoting myself and putting out there the content that I've used, same as Instagram. But for looking for work, the other three.
Well, what would you say for me for looking for people? Because I use Facebook to network. I use Twitter. Instagram is kind of 50-50. Backstage I use. But it's kind of... Oh, go ahead.
No, no, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
And backstage and LinkedIn. What would you recommend? How would you say? How can I say if you're on a site and I wanted to talk to you? Would
Hmm.
you say yes? You can pay for the site, but would you think it would be beneficial for what I'm doing, or do you think just use the other social medias?
Well, I think it also depends on what kind of people, like how developed they are in their career, if they're well known, if they're not well known, if they're, depending on the stage that
Right.
they are in. But another great way is in Backstage Magazine. They interview and they, promote a lot of actors in there, so you can get names, and that way, you start interviewing or getting people that are actively doing the work out there and that are probably better known than the people you have been interviewing so far, which is going to in turn help you. So, any publication on art, on acting, like I said, Backstage is a great one. Of course, they focus more on theater
Right.
than film. Um, and I would say also, I would probably start using Instagram every now and again for that. But you searching, looking for hashtags for example, using hashtags actor, and then looking through those and see who is in there, who's posting, and maybe it's going to take time because it takes a tremendous amount of time to be searching through that. But if you look for hashtag actor, hashtag movies, film, you're going to get a lot of actors that way, and you're going to get them nationwide. And then you just send them a Instagram message, a DM, a direct message through their Instagram, and ask them if they want to be on your show.
No, absolutely. And the last question I promised I would shut up and pass it to you. It's I guess I got in people from New York, California, L.A., Toronto. Let's see, New York. Okay, we'll get it like this: West Coast, East Coast, um, Canada, England. I got one
Hmm.
person from Japan. I got one person from Germany. I
That's
got
awesome.
I got pretty much everyone you mentioned it. I have United States, Canada, England, Germany, Japan, not Russia on my things to do list. China, might have, I don't remember.
Hmm.
But you mentioned all the cities, major cities, I got them. So that's covered. That's why I explore the other places. And it's pretty much the same. You can stay local, but if you really want to get yourself out there, like
Hmm.
a lot of people told me, I am globalized because for an example, during the 2 years, I interviewed people all over Canada because I was obsessed with Canada. I was like, okay, voiceovers, actors, give me everything. Talk to every single person in Canada. I was like, okay, what's next? Then I went to England. Then I went back to the United States because most of the other countries still didn't really speak English, so I didn't have a translator. So it's kind of like, okay, well, let's just keep it neutral. But it doesn't matter what country you're from. I interviewed someone from India. It's
Awesome.
you.
India is a huge, huge place for movies and films. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's the
mm.
last 3 minutes left? Was there anything you wanted to know? Anything you want to promote?
Say that again.
Oh, what's the last 3 minutes? Was there anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you wanted to promote?
Um, well, I guess the projects I'm working on, I will be shooting something the end of the month where I'm a DEA agent. I have another shoot beginning of September for a pilot of a TV series. And I'm finally, which I talked on the other interview, and that project has been in the making for a long time for me. It's my one-woman show.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so I finally got it going, and my coach and director, Mariska Phillips, is helping me. She's a fabulous director. And I also wrote a short, which we should be shooting probably by the end of the year, with a Spanish actress. We're both the leads in that film. And then I will be shooting something end of this year, beginning 2018. It's going to be a sci-fi series, and that's very new for me. I've never done sci-fi. Actually, I never was a fan of sci-fi except for Star Trek.
Right.
When I was little, I would watch it and I loved it. But I loved the script, and so it was great, and I accepted. And they were kind to give me the part. They were, they offered me the part, and I said yes. So that's what's coming up for me next.
No, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, you want to work together. You help me, I help you. So if there's anything you ever want me to promote, or if you have any commercials, I can do that for you. I can play that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, I do have a couple questions off the air about wrapping up our interview segment.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find my words. It's been a long day. So when I first...
Me too. I was rehearsing too.
When I first approached you the first time, I didn't ask you this the first time, so let's just go back 2 years and we can do a comparison. When I approached you the very first time, what was your first reaction to our first interview? And 2 years later, when we did a follow-up, do you think it gotten better, or do you think this is better than the first one?
When you first approached me 2 years ago, I had no doubts of saying yes. I remember clearly when you wrote me a message, and I read the message, I looked you up, I checked your material and what you were doing, and I instantly said yes. I had no doubts to do it. And I felt so good with the interview. I loved it. It was great. And now I must say, it got better because I feel you got better, more secure, more, I feel this great, what would be the word that I'm looking for? I guess security, confidence in what you're doing. So yeah, it's gotten better, definitely.
No, I appreciate it. Hey, a lot can happen in 2 years, and I don't know if you saw my demo, this is actually my 4th year, and this June coming up will be officially 5 years. So it came a long way, season 1, I'm recording just from the phone. Season 2, from just, now this is the camera recording from the computer screen. And now season 3 and 4, it's Skype recorder, so it's got to be I'm on the right, you're on the left. Or if you want to interview me, you're on the right and I'm on the left. So you see over the past 4 years, there's a transition from doing phone interviews, from recording just from the phone, to just recording from the computer screen, and now doing the Skype recorder.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome, and also the way you're conducting the program and everything. It's I feel it's evolution into the better.
Now, I do have a couple of questions off the air about wrapping up our interview segment. It was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and when we hang out, we should definitely do a sit-down interview.
I would love that. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Always fun to talk to you.